We have a very, very exciting session lined up for you. The topic is a creator's journey bisected, and we are in conversation with Vinay Pillai, Vice President Cloud Pocketasis, joined by Esas Channa, actor, Ishita Mangal, fashion designer and creative designer quo, Just Neil Things, content creator and filmmaker, Mac Macha, new age content creator. Over to you, Vinay.
Hey guys, glad to be on this panel, and I'm so glad that I'm with four creators who I've seen their journeys from a very early age up to now, and I think that most of them are just getting started. But I thought that this would be a great way to kind of highlight their journeys and help new creators learn what they can, and hopefully look to the future. So first and foremost, how about a quick round of introductions? But even with that, I think let's just stick to a topic with that. First and foremost, every creator takes a while, right, and takes a huge detour before finally reaching and finding some kind of success. So it would be great if all of you could introduce yourselves while also telling the audience what it was like prior to actually getting some kind of success in as a creator. So Esas, do you want to go first?
Anyway, I'm really glad to be a part of this panel. I'm personally a huge fan of everybody here and Vinay as well. My name is Esas Channa and I'm an actor.
So Esas, very quickly, like prior to being known, and I know in your case you were known very early on, but how was it like? What were the struggles to get to a point where you were noticed, or you were a known face and who you are today?
I think it has been a very interesting journey for me because I started working very young. Like in the beginning, I had nothing to do with anything that I was doing. Like it was all my mother. She took me to auditions. She did everything on my behalf. So when I was growing, when I was also like trying to get a hold of everything that I'm doing on my own, that got a little. I still have support from my mother. She still guides me, but going on set on my own, because she's also working, so I can't always expect her to be with me on set. So just going on set alone, going to auditions alone, uh, in the beginning was a little scary, but then I think that really helped me grow up and have a lot of interesting experiences. And digital happened by chance because I never expected to like get into the whole OTT and content creation space. Like I did not realize that Instagram is going to be such a big thing, and I will be able to form a whole new career through Instagram. So everything happened by chance, but still figuring. I think I'm still figuring out Instagram. I'm still getting a hold because everything changes, and there are so many people. So I think the challenges that I might actually face is the fact that there are so many people running the same race, and just to be relevant at the same time, and just to be not to get not letting people get bored of you. I think that is one challenge I think everybody faces at this point.
Yeah. So also, Ishita, I know that you were a designer before ever becoming a creator. So how was that transition like? Were there a lot of struggles? What were the kind of challenges you faced before you thought that legitimately now I'm a creator? I think we're facing some challenges with Ishita. So Neil, another very well documented scenario of how you kind of had a lot of things, a lot of different careers within media before becoming a creator. So what was that like? Did that help, and how was it difficult to actually become a creator?
Yeah, I did a kind of couple of jobs, you can say, or freelancing work in many of the sectors in media field. And like I worked around 1 year to 6 months in every sector, and now I feel is all that experience is helping me to create a single reel. You can say कि एक reel बनाने में वो सब experience अभी काम आ रहा है. I can ideate, I can script it, I can shoot it, I can edit it, I can post it from a social media perspective. I can strategize it. I can play with the audience. So ये सब जो भी experience है, because I didn't earn money back then. the stability came after the after I jumped as a full-time content creator. And I would like to say ki, unless and until you don't give it your full time to a particular thing, it will not get you anything. If you want to, you can't एक दोनों पैर दो पत्थर पे रख के ऐसा नहीं होगा. ये realize किया मैंने. So the first life was थोड़ा financially down, but I was working everywhere and creating content back then also. But now it's थोड़ा simple because I'm working for myself and earning out of that, and that is my main career, you can say. And so now it's a very pretty confident life.
Yeah, which is like the opposite of what the reason why most people don't jump into becoming a full-time creator, right? Because stability of income, etc. So it's so refreshing to hear the exact opposite. Mac, you've been killing it down south. You've been making great relatable content in Bangalore. So how was it like for you, and especially coming from an advertising background, before you kind of broke through as a creator?
It's the same kind of discipline which was there back then, which goes in now into creating content. It's no different for me. The amount of hard work, the amount of time, the amount of making sure that half a second is right, on point, that discipline still goes here. I think Neil would be able to relate to this because we come from a similar kind of mindset. So it's the same. It's still the same. It's just that, we're finding more stability here, and there's more appreciation for the work which we do. Like, people notice you as an individual, as a creator, and they appreciate, and you can make a difference in people's lives. And a lot of people, they say the day goes better just by watching our reels. And there's nothing can match up to that. I really don't think anything can match up to that. And that, that's what is amazing about being a part of this. I would definitely call it a profession. It's like a full-on profession to go into.
Awesome. Ishita, are we back with you now?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, my internet was a little unstable. So I'm Ishita Mangal, and I am a fashion designer who turned into content creation. And why this happened is because I had a full-blown label running just before the lockdown, but because of the lockdown, I had to shut it out and I had to find something to do from my house, and that's when I started creating content. Of course, the intention at that time was not to become a content creator, but to just kill time. And that eventually I realized that, this is what I like to do and this is my passion. And then and that was that then. So then after a certain point when it picked up, I just wanted to pursue this full time, and this is what I do now. So yeah.
And that's the story for so many, right? Like, where I think there are some really big success stories of COVID and creators. So, let's stick with Ishita, and I wanted to talk about each of your breakthrough moment, like that one moment where you, kind of went from doing, this profession from just a liking or to be a little bit more popular to actually realizing that, hey, this is my full-time profession, or this is something that I'm going to seriously do. So Ishita, what was that moment for you?
So for me, it was definitely because I had joined the space when there were already a lot of, especially in fashion, because my primary motive was to give fashion information, and I knew that there were already existing a lot of great, good artists in this space. So for me, there was this need to okay, how do I stand out? Because unless and until I do, nobody's going to notice me, right? So when I mixed comedy with fashion, I think it was a sort of breakthrough in a way that I think people noticed me very quickly. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, yeah. So I think people noticed me very quickly because, fashion had not been combined with comedy in that way. And I think that was something that was like a breakthrough moment for me when it came to, certain kind of videos, like, when I started picking up trends and started transforming it in my own way, linked to my voiceover or my comedy videos. I think that really worked well for me. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've never seen, I don't think there's any other creator who's at least successfully managed to merge fashion and comedy. It doesn't really pop as the first thing that you'd merge together, but you do it amazingly and so unique. So with respect to Mac, what's been the, the point where you actually, admitted to yourself that, hey, now I'm a creator? Like, what was that one breakthrough moment?
That was with my first reel. With my very first reel, the day I decided that I'm going to go on Instagram and create content is me stepping in with the decision of going at it with a complete focus. So this was during the pandemic, obviously. There was no advertisement film shoots happening. There was no set work. And I was just sitting at home and I just thought, okay, it's a good time space right now. I have the right window to make a transition into that space where I can present myself as an artist, more of completely as an artist. And yeah, I gave myself a year's time and it worked exactly as I planned, by God's grace. And yeah, I'm here now.
So Essas, I think you're the youngest to this lot, but I think you've already had a couple of breakthroughs, right? Like you've, in a sense, had 2 careers already. But what was your breakthrough moment?
I think the reason I started making these short videos on social media was because I liked it, because also I'm an actor, so I get to play different characters, even though if I'm not doing like a project. For example, like I was a huge fan of Jab We Met, and I was a huge fan of the character Geet. And I had this thing, I want to do this, I want to play this character, and I was able to do a couple of her scenes on these on Instagram and on these short form platforms. So it started off like that, and then I realized how it's also growing. People are genuinely liking it, and that was when I realized that I can do so much more. I can lip sync, I can dance, I can do more scenes. I can go back to I recreate my own scenes from films that I did when I was young. So,
I mean, I thought you were surely going to talk about being Shah Rukh Khan's son, or being Radhika Apte.
I was also coming to that. So my the fact that I got to play Shah Rukh Khan's son, I think that was it for me. That was my breakout moment. And then obviously on digital, the whole Radhika Apte video went viral and people genuinely liked it. And I didn't realize that it's going to be this big, and I'm actually quite good at mimicking Radhika Apte. So yeah.
And Neil, what about yourself? What was that moment jab ho gaye tum creator?
So for me, there was no moment. I have been trying to be a creator and pursuing this for like many years. Started from YouTube, then at a point about to quit it because paise nahi hai, kuch nahi hai, need a job. Ye level tak aake, I've been always hopping on to the main thing first, which is working for like after YouTube. By the time we were like creating content on YouTube there had many big creators. So हम तक पहुंचने में तो उनको बहुत ही time लग जाता. So that I already knew and वो हो रहा था हमारे साथ. We were consistently creating content. Then Instagram came in. Instagram पे तो बहुत सारा audience आने लगा. तो we started 1 minute or Vine videos on Instagram, कभी कभी IGTV भी, ये भी हमने 2-3 साल किया. उसके बाद जब लॉकडाउन हुआ तो रील्स आया, then we hopped on to reels. So I have been creating content on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and जब reels आया तब जाके कहीं पे वो I found a knack of कि 30 सेकंड में 15 सेकंड में how I can pull it off, जो मैं YouTube sketch में 3 मिनट में करता हूँ या फिर 1 मिनट का पहले इंस्टाग्राम का वीडियो करता हूँ. तो अब 30 सेकंड में 15 सेकंड में जो पुल करना, वही सेम टाइप का कंटेंट एंड वही सेम टाइप की कॉमेडी दैट पीपल गॉट हुक्ड ऑन टू इट कि अरे ये कुछ अलग है. सो वी आल्सो फाउंड अ नैक कि अच्छा ये कर सकते हैं. डूइंग इट कंसिस्टेंटली आफ्टर अ पॉइंट व्हेन आई क्रॉस 10K फॉलोअर्स, थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस आया कि ओके नाउ मे बी आई कैन ट्राई ऑन टू दिस, एंड आई क्विट माय जॉब एंड आई ट्राइड. जैसे मैं फुल टाइम गया तो ग्रोथ, इवन आई कांट बिलीव कि 1 महीने में 1 लाख फॉलोवर, ऐसे मैंने 4 महीने में 4 लाख फॉलोवर अपने आप आते गए. बट ऐसे नहीं कि हर एक वीडियो मेरा वायरल जा रहा है. एक दूसरा ऐसा महीने में 1-2 वीडियो ही वायरल जाते थे, पर कंसिस्टेंटली पोस्टिंग लाइक 3 months आई रिमेंबर आई हैव पोस्टेड लाइक ऑलमोस्ट एवरी डे.
In fact, I remember in the early days when your reel videos would do 20x 30x of the number of views as followers you had. So I remember reels was like, I associate your growth with reels in that sense.
Yeah. Reels
And
is the main
and
reason, I
Instagram feels
guess.
the same, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And then money started coming in, and then I decided, okay, I think I'm a full-time creator now. And then since then I'm creating content on Instagram and YouTube full time, nothing else.
Yeah. So just coming back to Mac, everyone, whenever they get into media, have some person that they want to work with or someone they look up to and hope that one day, you get to work with them. So are there any idols or are there any like content creators or any person per se that you want to work with and make a video with in the future?
Yes,
Or has it happened already?
It's not happened already, it's happening. I mean, talking to creators, they're showing interest. I mean, they want to collab. And that's something like I wouldn't have even thought of a year back. It's mind blowing. I've been fascinated by Malayalam films for the last 1.5 years with the entire Fahad Fasil and the entire group of actors. It's mind blowing how they create such amazing films with such limited resource. It's not like they're restricting themselves. It's amazing to see what they are able to make of a little. And that's the entire ensemble that I really want to I dream to work with. I know they're way beyond what I am as an actor, but yeah, that's something I really look up to. And somewhere I want to be there in the future.
As a Malayali, I'll tell you, we've been constantly saying that our film industry is like the best kept secret in India. But I guess like did you put that out there as well?
Yes.
So Ishita, coming to you, like who did you, from a content standpoint, look up to or like hope to work with or make videos with in the future?
So I honestly love. I believe that collaborations are a great way, not just for growth, but also like in terms of if you want to come up with new concepts, because I feel like when you collaborate with a different mind, it's just magical things happen. But for me, it's not about, okay, I want to collaborate with this person. For me, I think I would be more interested in getting into a different space, like probably a web series because I feel like, a lot of web series are missing that, a show dedicated to fashion or styling, which is done in a way which is relatable to people, so I think that is a miss. And I feel like I can be a very integral part of something like that. So that is a space that I would want to get into. But when it comes to collaborating with a specific person, nothing really, to be very honest.
In fact, I think there's enough decision makers from big platforms here. So, we should definitely try to make that happen. But, is there any particular director you'd want to work with or, because you also are stylist beyond a creator per se?
Yeah, so I would I'm a big fan of Sanjay Leela Bhansali's work, just because of his aesthetics and the symmetry and the sets and the costumes. I love it. Like it just gives me goosebumps thinking about being there. So if I can be a part of it in some way where I can give my creative expertise to something like that, that would be great. Yeah.
Ehsaas, what about yourself? I'm sure you're going to say some actor's name, but who's the one that you really want to work with?
So many people that I want to work with. So many directors actually that I want to work with, and I'm a huge fan of. But the first person that actually comes to my mind when you asked that question was Amitabh Bachchan sir, because I think that's a dream. I think it's every actor's dream to work with him, and whoever's worked with him is I just envy them, and I'm always like so jealous of them.
But you've been on the same project once, right?
Yeah, so we've been on the same project, but I have never gotten to share the screen with him. I've met him once, but it's more than just meeting him, it's just working with him and getting to see how he actually works. He's such a legend, and I want to see how he reads his script, how he rehearses. So all of those things I just want to witness live.
Neil, kaun se creators hai, which are these that you've wanted to work with? Who have you worked with already from that?
Yeah. So I wanted to always work with the Unique hai, Ashish hai, Bhuvan Bam hai, but unke saath Unique has been a friend for a longer time. Ashish, I was a big fan of Ashish. Ashish ne saamne se contact kiya. फिर उनके साथ भी मैंने वीडियो कर लिया, फिर बचे थे भुवन बाम, थैंक्स टू पॉकेट असिस्ट भुवन बाम के साथ भी कोलैबोरेट हो गया। तो बट ये होने के बाद हम लोग ने एक्चुअली माय गैंग एंड आई डिड ad with Sachin Tendulkar, which was totally unbelievable. तो उसके बाद फिर मैंने थोड़ा थोड़ा होप्स बढ़ा दिया, जो कि मेरा लॉन्ग टर्म ऐसा सोच था कि कभी तो यार जॉनी लीवर साहब या फिर परेश रावल सर या फिर गोविंदा, इनके साथ कुछ तो करूँ, एक एक्ट ऐसे कुछ, इधर इट इज अ वीडियो और शेयरिंग अ स्क्रीन, जस्ट वांट टू ट्यून इन विद देम हाउ दे प्रोसेस, या बिकॉज मैंने काफी सारे मूवीज के भी उनके कादर खान गोविंदा या फिर जॉनी लीवर गोविंदा, इनके ना बिहाइंड द सीन्स देखे, एंड आई लव द वे दे इम्प्रोवाइज इट। आई कैन रिलेट टू इट कि हम जिस तरीके से हम वीडियोस करते हैं वो भी वैसे ही इम्प्रोवाइज कर करके दे लैंड अपॉन अ पर्टिकुलर सीन। तो इट इज सो, मैं इतना ये क्यों, कैसा मजा आएगा वो सब से उनके साथ करने में। तो एक बार तो बस करना है, तो गोविंदा, जॉनी लीवर या फिर परेश रावल सर, ये तीन है मेरे दिमाग में, इनके साथ कभी तो कभी कुछ ना कुछ करूंगा। आई थिंक इट्स पॉसिबल, अगर सचिन के साथ हो सकता है तो उनके साथ भी कैसे ना कैसे हो ही जाएगा।
I think you need to reach out. I think
yeah.
that's the gap. So coming very quickly to, at some point of time, creators get overburdened with doing both business and creative, right? Like, so in that sense, how have agencies or like, companies that have managed people in your personal experience or otherwise, like helped creators, grow and monetize, etc. Like, Ishita, do you want to go first?
Yeah, for me, I think when it comes to agencies, they really help you, because I've been part of an agency only since the past 2 months, and I feel like there's a way in which, like, for example, if I'm coming up with some ideas, there's always somebody to sort of give more ideas to it, or to, give their own input, because obviously these agencies, they come from experience, and I think that is something that I don't have, so I think that really helps me doing better content, doing faster content, and even in terms of collaborating with new artists and fresher artists. So in those terms, I think it really helps me. Yeah.
Neil, how has your experience been from a business side, or from the other side of working with management per se?
So before the agency or manager, you can say, उसके पहले ऐसा था कि मैं सुबह रोज उठता था, अब मेरा मेल फ्लडेड होता था, वो मैं 12-1 बजे तक चेक करते बैठा था, उनको रिप्लाई करते बैठा था। उसके बाद मैं सोचा था अभी आज कंटेंट बनाने जाना है। सो द मूवमेंट आफ्टर आई गॉट एजेंसी, सब कुछ सॉर्ट हो गया। लाइक आई वाज लाइक कि अभी कुछ क्या, अभी मुझे सिर्फ कंटेंट बनाना है, बाकी एवरीथिंग इज टेकन केयर ऑफ। ना मुझे पैसे देखने हैं, ना कुछ देखना है। आई तो आई एम on my manager, I have a good relationship with him. You can see a second relationship after my girlfriend. So everything, I am so much dependent on my manager. Like he's so like even I just send him voice notes कि ये concept है, he writes and sends me. इतना मैंने मतलब because sometimes you have to work on multiple brands और ये सब, you're traveling also, you're in the shoots also. So ये सब बोलते हैं ना कि सिर्फ creative part अगर छोड़ दिया तो बाकी जितना भी काम है is handled by someone else. So मुझे वो कुछ है ही नहीं टेंशन। There's 100% transparency. तो किसी भी चीज का मुझे लोड ही नहीं लेना। At the end of the month बस एक बार बैठ के देखना है क्या क्या काम किया, इतने पैसे, ओके डन, चलो। इतना sorted life मेरा हो गया है। So that's why that helps me to create more and more content, and I'm very much confident about it, because even if I'm going some wrong way, I'm stop, hey bro ये मत कर। क्योंकि while you're in the creative process, you don't think logically, या फिर क्या कर रहे हो तुम, किस direction में जा रहे हो। So वो सब guide करने वाला भी कोई है। So I just have to think only about the ideas. Everything else is sorted from me. So वो बहुत अच्छी चीज है मेरे लिए।
Neil, I also know your manager, and I think he doesn't even have a girlfriend. I feel like
I've been listening to this life.
So Mac, like how is I mean, because you started off right from the offset of being a creator, right? Like for a lot of people, they stumbled upon it, and that initial growth happened, without any objectives per se. So how has it been for you with respect to getting managed fairly early in your creator journey per se?
See, I came in with a mindset that I don't need anybody to manage me, because since I come from the same background, I know I can do this myself. But more than an agency, I like to see the people who are representing me as a growth company.
Yeah.
And it's not just representing you to brands, they add value to your page. They get you the collabs. They are in talk with the social platforms you're in. Any technical issues, they get it sorted. So all these things is not something which I can do by myself. And we know how difficult it is to, have an interaction with brand. It's so much time gone, and making and collecting payments, and going off and through. And here this process is just smooth. You just need to, they just come and tell you, this is the brand, can you do something? You're interested? Yes, you do. You give a good script. You just need to focus on your creative aspect. And that's like 80% of work off your head. And everything is so relaxed. I feel like I'm doing nothing. I feel like I'm doing absolutely nothing here. So I'm overhyped or something. So it's just been I'm really doubtful on how things can be so smooth. It's just been a cakewalk.
It won't always remain that way, but it's also about trying to.
I wanted to, but yeah, it's been really smooth, and it's just been amazing.
And Ehsaas, I know you've been, in that sense, you're again the youngest in this, but like probably had the longest career of also being managed, etc. as an individual talent. So how is your journey been? That perspective.
I mean, I have been managed for like about 5 years now, and before that, my mom was my manager, and she looked into everything. But like I think very rightly and very appropriately said by Neil, Mac, and Ishita, that it just having a management and somebody who represents you, it becomes so much easier for the talent, and all they can do is just focus on the work and the job that they. So like the whole negotiation and the pitching and all of that is off their shoulders. And I think more than just managing, I think having a management and like an agency is important, because they pitch you also. So you don't have to go and sell yourself. If you have somebody else doing that for you and getting you more projects. I think I have gotten more projects if being with a management than if I would have managed myself, or because there are so many people coming and there are so many new things happening in the industry and that we don't know of, and there are your managers working and pitching you and writing your content, helping you out, and there's so much and there's like always this nice guidance that comes along with it. So like I always turn around to my manager and Vinay for advice, and anytime I hit rock bottom or anything, I have somebody.
This is an interesting topic for me as well, and now Cloud, as Cloud, we manage about 70 talent, and it's been a crazy journey from that standpoint. But every time a talent comes and says, hey, I don't really need management, why should I get management? And they're usually surprised with my first sentence, which is don't get management. It's you kind of need to know some of the gaps or some of the things that you're willing to delegate. It is a trust process. Everyone, in that sense, every creator, every actor is running their own independent business in some way, shape, or form, right? So it's the same as should you go and get more people in a team? The answer always is yes, but then before you do that, you need to know, can you delegate some aspects of what you do? Can you trust people? And like Max said, it's so important to enjoy who you work with. So if all of those things don't line up, like don't sign up. But if those things are important, then I think that once you find some level of success, a management can really accelerate or help accelerate it. So I mean, we've spoken so much about successes and breakthroughs. Before we end the session, we have to talk about some kind of downside, and primarily one of the core issues, or what people assume will happen to creators when they grow, is there's these super confident people, and eventually they'll get arrogant, and money will get to their head and fame will get to their head. So I know from a standpoint that all four of you have different processes, but like let's start with Ehsaas. But how do you manage to remain grounded, or what keeps you grounded in your entire system?
I think it's very simple. My mom, she would give me 2 tight slaps and pull me back if I was trying to fly in the air. And I think it's majorly the people that you surround yourself with, your friends, even your management for that matter, who just keep you grounded, who remind you that what you're doing is, it needs constant hard work, it needs constant dedication, and you just can't take things for granted. So I think that really helps. And plus, I just feel like I'm a very, I have low self-esteem, I have confidence issues. So I think all of that also really helps, because I don't think very highly of myself ever. And it's going to be very difficult for me to become arrogant and think that, oh my God, I'm the queen of everything. So that's going to take a lot.
Yeah.
So I think these are the things that
this is so shocking and surprising in so many ways, because everyone associates that, oh, an actor must be so self-confident, and so how do you deal with that? How do you deal with going and portraying, and in your case mostly like very either girl next door characters or boisterous characters, but then how do you portray that with if you're not super confident about
I think I'll be very honest, it's damn difficult. I'm just going, it's not very easy. Like, I think I am always, being an actor comes with a lot of insecurities. Let's be honest. Like, there are so many people, like I earlier said, there are so many people doing this exact same thing and trying to achieve the exact same thing that you are doing. So, that constant insecurity and the fact that you have to stay relevant it comes with a lot of, but I think just surrounding yourself with the right people and believing in yourself somewhere really helps. And just, I know that I am decent in what I do. So I just believe in my craft. I think that is something that keeps me going.
I think you're being very modest, but Neil, I mean, what do you do to remain grounded? Like, in your case, I mean, you've also you've been a creator for very long, but that scale in the last 1 year has been phenomenal, right? So how do you feel from like a year to now?
So, I was grounded only last year. Only the chance came to me, so I need to remain grounded. So इसके पहले तो मैं grounded ही था, क्योंकि कुछ था ही नहीं, बस कुछ था ही नहीं grounded ना होने के लिए. So but what I have experienced in last 1 year is like a lot of people loving me, a lot of people praising me to another level. Like, एक सिंपल चीज भी देखिए, लोग आपका पोर्ट्रेट आके देते हैं, आपका फोटो ड्राइंग कुछ भी करके देते हैं. तो देयर आर वेरी मोमेंट्स कि आपका ग्राउंड छोड़ के ऊपर चढ़ने के झाड़ पे चढ़ने के लिए देयर आर लाइक मिलियंस ऑफ मोमेंट्स यू हैव. बट सिंस आई हैव बीन डूइंग दिस फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, कुछ उसूल अपने आप दिमाग में तैयार हो जाता है कि हाँ ये है, ये कभी भूलना नहीं है. सो there was a madam in my art school. She just said one day I had a very I did a nice drawing in my classroom, pure classroom mein, और she praised me a lot. But after the clapping, she said me a line in my ears, coming close to me कि ये मत भूलना कभी कि ये जो भी आप कर रहे हो ना, अच्छा जो भी अच्छा काम आपसे होता है ना, वो आपका क्रेडिट नहीं है. ये जस्ट द मीडियम. There's an energy that comes and passes through you, और आपके हाथ से वो काम हो जाता है. It is not your credit, it's someone else's credit. किसी के तो एक्सपीरियंस है, जो भी है, अभी क्लियरली याद नहीं, पर उन्होंने संस्कृत में एक प्रोवर्ब ऐसा बोला था, कोट बोला था कि इदम न ममम, मतलब ये क्रेडिट मेरा नहीं है, ऐसा उसका मीनिंग है. तो पता नहीं क्यों, पर अभी तक वो मेरे दिमाग में है. और कभी भी कोई भी बड़ी चीज मेरे साथ हो जाती है ना, यू कैन से अचीवमेंट, तो ये अपने आप मेरे दिमाग में बचता है. Second thing is what I have experienced in these many years. I've seen people talking rudely, harshly because of the hierarchy, on sets, spot by ko ye wo. But not only the tantrums, you can't say tantrums, but there are like छोटा politics होते रहता है हर जगह पे. वो मैंने बहुत देखा और मेरे साथ भी काफी हुआ है. I know how it feels. So अभी मेरे सामने कभी उस टाइप का सिचुएशन खड़ा हो जाता है ना कि मेरे काफी अंडर हायरार्की वाइज काम करने वाला बंदा अगर मेरे सामने, तो आई एक्ट थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा स्वीट. in that way I feel like okay, I am still grounded. I that act itself reminds me of being grounded. And the third one is कि मैं जो भी content बनाता हूँ, it is a very relatable to a mass level of India middle class, या उससे भी जो लोग को हर एक चीज relatable लगे. वैसे चीजों पे सोचना, उस पे कंटेंट बनाना keeps me grounded. Even if I earn, अभी कल को जाके मैं पैसे बहुत सारे कमा भी लूं, फिर भी thinking about those relatable things will keep me at this stage also. You know, like there are some type of, there's a content कि जो टूथपेस्ट खत्म है तो बेलन से कर रहे हैं. ये कॉन्सेप्ट अगर मैं कल को जाके मैं बहुत बड़ा, बहुत पैसे वाला बन जाऊं, फिर भी मैं ये कॉन्सेप्ट अगर सोच रहा हूँ तो आई एम नॉट फॉरगॉटन द डेज की टूथपेस्ट एंड तक यूज करना होता है, काट के यूज करना होता है. सो दिस थिंग्स, my work
Audience
itself
keeps
is
you
keeping me, yeah, audience and my work itself is keeping me grounded, is what I feel.
Awesome. What about you, Mac? What do you, what's keeping you grounded? I know that now videos that are just shooting up and, getting insane views. So what's helping you stay focused and, not get distracted or get too big?
I'm nowhere on the ground. I'm on cloud 9 right now. Like this, everything feels like a dream. But the only challenge is to not to let the ego sweep into you. So that's why I consciously made a decision of separating Macwin from the brand MacMacha, which I've created on Instagram. So it doesn't get too personal to me. So I can distance myself whenever I want. When I'm on Instagram, I'm a personality. I have a different personality. When I'm at home, I'm myself. So I've made the conscious decision of separating the two. Yeah. Also,
so that DMs is like really arrogant and right up there, huh? Like in
not at all. So I'm not an entertainer when it comes to, I get very philosophical and I start thinking about existence and what's the purpose and everything. I get too deep into meditation. That's me as a person. But as a brand, I want to entertain people.
Yeah.
So me entertaining people is helping a lot of people. Like for one example, there was one lady who, sent me a DM saying, she recently had a miscarriage and my videos helped her get through it.
Oh, wow.
And the amount of value it's adding to people's lives, that is what, keeps me going, to give them that value. And that is, in a sense, cuts off that ego from sweeping into.
So that's so heavy. I'm sure all of you get like crazy DMs
that
keep you thinking the rest of the day.
Yeah, I also had some similar experience. Like there was a DM. That girl said, "Listen, dude, my father just passed away today morning, and I was so sad. I was not able to sleep, and I landed up on your profile and I watched all of your videos, 50, 60 videos I watched, and finally I laughed out loud and I'm able to sleep now. I don't know how right wrong it was, but she told me that I'm able to sleep now, and I'm messaging you this morning because I'm feeling good." And that I was shocked. I was like, am I doing right, wrong? I didn't understand anything, but that feeling was a bit different. So I hope that she got good vibes and energy from at least video, and she was feeling better.
Wow.
And it's that exchange of love from the people, just to and fro, that keeps everything going.
Yeah.
People pour it in buckets, right? And
yes.
Ishita, what about you? How do you manage to keep grounded and you get recognized? And are you awkward about it, or do you like it? Like what goes on in your head about all of this?
Me, I feel like as long as you realize that you can very easily, you can easily flow into this path where you're just suddenly on this cloud 9. I think once you realize that these are two separate things, I think you can be conscious of it. Secondly, I feel like even if I'm a big believer of energies, and I feel like even if you're on a digital/virtual platform, I think you can feel the person's energy even through this medium. So once a person the screen tells you and you pick up on it, and your audience the audience is really intelligent, far more intelligent than we think it is, and it'll be the first, it'll pick up on it and it'll call you out on it. So I feel like you have to realize that you are valid and your content is valid only till you're grounded, because if you're not, then you're going to lose it out eventually, or maybe it's going to take some time to spring back, right?
Yeah.
And another thing is when you asked about being recognized, right? So a lot of it, for a long part, we were in lockdown, and so I wasn't really stepping out and all of that. But once I do, I have to say that I am a little awkward about. I love the online attention, but I'm always in my masks and goggles and whatever. I mean, not like a lot of people know me anyway, but like still, like even a little bit of offline attention gets me a little awkward. It's not like I don't like it, but it's just
me a little, like, I don't know what to say, you know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Mac gave us a great example of, you know, some fan interaction, you know, whether it be a DM or someone who bumps into you in public, that's so impactful. So I would love for the others also, if you could share one. So Ishita, you want to go first with some, you know, some
Yeah.
example of like some DM or something that just, you know, made
No,
you feel like, wow, people have shared something crazy.
there have, like, I keep getting these kind of constant DMs, and not just about, because I do fashion and I do humor, and I also talk about society's issues, especially on women. So a lot of women will message me saying, "Oh, I wore my first bikini because your content gave me the confidence to do that," or, you know, "I wore a crop top with a sari today because you told me that this is okay to do," you know. So, and it's comfortable, and it's something that I've experienced, and I keep getting pictures, and, you know, so that just feels amazing. And even, like, a lot of this happened during COVID also, because when I was doing some content for brands, and I do support a lot of smaller brands as well, you know. So I made a video on a small brand that had gifted me a bag, and this person messaged me, gave me a long message saying that, you know, I was in my ICU bed during the second wave, and I saw this video of yours, and it just felt so nice, and we were showing it to the nurses and the doctors
Wow.
in the ICU room. And I was like, that feeling, I don't know how much it helped that person, but for them to take out time to write this to me, it must have meant something to them, and that just felt great. So I think, I mean, these little instances, I think they happen with all kinds of creators, but, like, it gives you so much faith in your content, and it gives you that motivation that, you know, you're not here just for the likes or the comments. It's bringing about real change, and I think that's what matters. So
Wow, it's crazy, amazing. Essas, any one incident of a fan interaction or a DM or something that was crazy memorable that you'd like to share with us? You're on mute again, Essas.
So anyway, something very similar to what Neil and Mac happened. So I was in Pune. I was shooting for a show, and my friends, like my co-actors and I, we went out to, you know, have dinner after backup, and I was just chilling, and there was this woman who comes to me, and I see that she's crying, and she comes and she's like, "Can I please talk to you for a minute?" I'm like, "Sure, what happened?" And the first thing you see, the first thing that comes to your mind when you see a crying woman is like, she's in trouble, or there's something wrong. I gotta save her. She's like, "What happened? What happened?" Left everything. She's like, "No, nothing. I just lost my husband a week ago, and your videos and just watching you just makes me really happy and makes me feel better. I wouldn't say that you've completely changed that, but you just make me feel better." And she cried, and she's like, "Can I please hug you if you don't mind?" And I hugged her for like about, I didn't want to let her go. I hugged her for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, "Is there anything I can do for you?" And I think I still speak to her sometimes. I check on her whenever. I mean, we chat on Instagram. So I think that it really means a lot to me. Like the kind of influence and the kind of you know, impact that I have on people. It's crazy. Like I just sometimes wonder, why is this even happening? I'm not that cool. But what is happening? It puts me in a weird space, but it's just, I'm too grateful.
We have 1 minute, and I'm going to ask Neil to, since we spoke about Pune and about fan interactions, I'm going to ask Neil to let us know about his last interaction at that rap concert that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. We were at a Divine show, and we were standing at the VIP section. And as soon as the show ended, Divine left the stage, and we were also leaving, and the crowd started cheering for me and my whole gang with the "Believe in Magic," Orange Juice Gang, yeah, and they were pushing the railings and all, and that was like, I was shocked by it. And the bodyguards came in and they said, "Sir, leave from here." And this was whole of a kind of a movie scene. I was watching me from a third perspective. ऐसा कुछ हो रहा था मेरे साथ, और ये पहली बार हुआ है. और again I thought नहीं, आगे grounded रहना है, ये होगा, अच्छी बात है.
So on that note, I think you know, it's super positive note. I know we went up and down a bit because
Yes.
of goods and bads, but I hope for all the viewers, like, you know, this was fun and it was helpful. And yeah, if you want to be a creator, you know, go out there and give it your all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vinay, for that absolutely vibrant and lively session. Thank you very much once again.